What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tap In podcast with me, Mateo Alvarez, the co-host Julius and James. Here to talk about a lot of stuff that has happened this week. So since Sunday, yeah, a lot of drama has happened, especially if you're a Chelsea fan. But I think I want to talk. I want to talk Arsenal. I want to talk the title race first. James, how was that Aston Villa? Uh,
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Arsenal game. How did that turn out?
I do not recall. I believe the last game we
I
played.
think you just woke up from a coma, right?
Yeah, man. I believe. Hold on. If I remember correctly, I gotta pull it up in my. The last game we played was against Chelsea, and we won that. So I have no idea what you're talking about. Nah.
Ouch. It burns.
But for real though, that was ugly. Well, let me rephrase. The second half was really ugly. The first half was a good match. It was not one-sided at all. I feel like both teams were going back and forth. There were a few times Ollie Watkins did get the ball in a very good position right in front of the keeper to the left front, but it was just them and he missed it left on the short corner. He should have made that. Would have gave us a goal going into the break. But I think Aston Villa were playing very well in the first half, possibly even a little bit better than Arsenal was. Although Arsenal did have they were breathing down our necks in that first half for sure. They'd had a bunch of chances as well. But I feel like we were making great passes. We were getting into the box and we're getting shots on goal. Unluckily for us, David Raya is a beast in the box. He is very good. I'd say that he might be the best keeper in the Prem right now. Outside maybe Donnarumma.
I was gonna say Donnarumma is doing pretty good too.
Donnarumma is having himself
based
a
off of
season
today's
as well.
action. Definitely not. We'll get to it, but that was fucking abysmal.
Fair enough. That's fair. But that second half, man, when Onana didn't come out onto the field because he had gotten injured in the first half, I kind of had a feeling this might go left because now our midfield is looking very weak because he is that anchor right there that kind of defends against passes coming up the middle and whatnot. And without him there, we put in John McGinn, who wasn't even supposed to play that game because he was, I think he might have been injury, but he wasn't expected to play. And then it just, that first goal was crazy, actually. My man, Gabriel, who's a beast, by the way, elbows my man Martinez in the face. Not on purpose, but he was in that man's grill. He was right there. Now, granted, Martinez should have caught the ball, but come on, if this was football, it'd be pass interference.
But
so
it's
that
the
was
other
kind of
football.
some, yeah, exactly. So they gave Gabriel the benefit of the doubt on that one, which, I don't think it really wouldn't matter much difference because they were teeing off after that goal went in. Zubimendi's got a goal, I think, right after that. Then they subbed on Gabriel Jesus or whichever his name is, and he gets a goal almost immediately. And then, Ali Watkins gets him a nice little meaningless goal at the end. We just fell apart without our key players. We just didn't look good at all. It was like we gave up before the second half even started because that's how fast they scored. So,
yeah, I think that's one of the comments that some of the folks have been saying on the interwebs when it comes to Villa being in the title race is you guys have tremendous players and you guys have a tremendous manager, but you guys lack the depth. So when you have key players falling out, the average level of talent for the team kind of drops depending on who's on the pitch, which seems to not be a problem for City and Arsenal.
that is a problem. I'd say, yeah, we do lack depth when it comes to playing very good teams. When we like today or yesterday, we played Nottingham Forest. We still didn't have Onana in there. We did have Boubacar and Medicash. That's fair. But I think when we're playing just decent teams, our second team is good enough to compete and, get a draw or possibly a win. But when you're playing Man City or Arsenal, or maybe even like Chelsea in Manchester United, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. You need that starting 11, and we just didn't have that. The Dean, what was his name? Luca Digne, he started. I think Bogard started for Matty Cash. Wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough. But all I can hope for is that we keep moving on after this win against Nottingham Forest. We had a lot of good goals. My man John McGinn had his first brace of his career, which is crazy because he's like 31. So, shout out to him. And Ali Watkins, who has scored, I want to say, 4 goals in the last 3 games.
That's great.
And he's scored in 4 games in a row, I think, now. So he's starting to ramp it up here a little bit. So maybe, that could contribute to our title push. But the only thing that can really contribute to our title push right now is if Arsenal loses a couple games.
Yeah. Yeah, which I guess we could jump onto that. Because right after they played with you guys, they played Bournemouth. And that game was, it had me believing for a miracle, man. It started with a Bournemouth game, or a Bournemouth goal.
A little bit different.
And they equalized pretty quickly, and unfortunately, they took a lead pretty quickly after that. Yeah, Gabriel's looking. He might honestly be the best center back in the Prem right now. It's between him and Saliba, I think.
For a long time, Saliba was the undisputed number 1, but what Gabriel gives you is he gives you command of both boxes.
Yeah,
and the fact that he is so lethal on set pieces, he gets on the end of almost every cross. He's good with his feet as well in the penalty box. That man can score. I think he's undisputably the best center back in the Prem if he's healthy, which, lucky for them, he's healthy again.
Yeah, I think he's only been out maybe a few weeks a few matches this season, right? I think he was out for maybe 3 or so total.
Yeah. He just recently came back. I think actually for the Aston Villa game, because before that point he was injured.
Other Aston Villa was his first game out.
Yeah, so it looked there for a second that there might be a little bit of an injury crisis that the rest of us could possibly benefit from, but they bounced back super quick.
Do you feel, though, that this game against Bournemouth shows that it doesn't necessarily have to be like a City or a Villa or a quote unquote like big team that takes the points from them? Do you think that it could be Leeds, for example, who's kind of on a weird run right now, where I think they drew against United and they've had a couple
Sunderland.
Yeah.
Beat Crystal Palace, drew with Brentford. Yeah.
Exactly.
They're having a weird run.
So it could be that it'll take a team's purple patch to, it's two losses, right? It's 2 losses or, a loss or a draw in a couple of draws to bring this thing back. It's 6 points, but and I know that this is still, this is now entering into the majority of the season's almost over, right? Or has lapsed. We're on the second half of the season. But
almost.
I still think almost. I still think that is very much doable, especially with the January transfer window. A lot can change. Teams could bolster. So it's not the end, but it definitely looks good. If I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm flying high. I'm having a good time right now. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I think absolutely, because with some of the upcoming fixtures, Liverpool is next. Liverpool wasn't able to beat Fulham today. Which
maybe they'll play for the draw.
Maybe. Oh, and at this point, drop points is what we're looking for. It doesn't even necessarily have to be losses. Just a draw would be enough to start knocking them off their momentum. Chelsea after that, Nottingham Forest. Well, actually, Chelsea's in the EFL Cup, so
EFL, yeah,
that'll
we have
be a different
2 games.
Yeah, that'll be different gravy, and then Nottingham Forest, then then Man United. It's
Arsenal
possible.
got themselves an easy schedule if you think
Yeah.
about it. It's
You put it
kinda
in the group chat,
ridiculous.
and it's the truth. They have a cupcake schedule going ahead.
No offense to you, Mateo.
Well,
But
hold on.
they
Well,
play
in
We'll get to
EFL,
that.
that's
We'll,
different.
that's
EFL, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, that's not.
But
Yeah.
like they have Leeds, then Sunderland, then Brentford, then Tottenham, and then Chelsea, and then Brighton, and then like, come on.
I mean, honestly, though, here's the thing, though. This season, especially, it's been games like that. It's been the games that are shoo-ins, that are, troublesome for big teams. I can see it still happening. I have a feeling that maybe Leeds could have an upset there with Arsenal. I really hope that they'll draw or better. So who knows? Either that, or we're gonna have to start boarding windows and collecting water for whenever Arsenal ends up winning the Prem.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a YouTube break for a solid month
Yeah?
or two.
Oh my gosh!
Nah,
I'm
gonna take it.
cleanse.
I'm gonna take it to the dome, man. I'm gonna take it to the face.
No, bro, I can't.
You know what's a little disappointing, though, is that this is my first season rabidly supporting a team on in the Premier League, and for this to be the season that maybe Arsenal actually wins it, me learning how horrific the fan base can be, it's just like, damn, what a season to
Let me
hop
tell
on.
you, man, because when they beat us, I got on Twitter and I was like, "Oh my gosh, y'all act like y'all just won the chip again, man! Like
every
that
time.
is a regular season game."
They will celebrate, which kudos to them, because honestly, maybe that's what toxic positivity. Yeah, thank you. Maybe that's what that is. But damn, they be celebrating everything. Kudos.
You know, I guess they got that right since they're at the top. But golly, man, there's 18 more games left. How about you relax a little bit before you drop to second place again?
And it's been emphatic wins, like not just Aston Villa, Bournemouth. It was 3-2, but for the majority of that, they looked in full control. And there's different ways to win a title. There's leaving it last minute, like we were seeing from Liverpool at the beginning of the season, where we were like, I mean, it's exciting for the fans, but at the same time, that's not the way you want to see your team win. But blowing out third place 4-1, putting Bournemouth to the sword kind of comfortably, like, yeah, there was moments where we were believing, or more hoping that they were gonna that Bournemouth were gonna be able to do something for the rest of us, but they are ramping up momentum at perfectly the right time. Now fixture congestion could be our saving grace, potentially, where the Champions League's games are coming thick and fast. If they go far in the cups for like EFL and stuff like that, it could trip them up. There might be a lot of rotation, maybe some injuries, but at this point, it's just hoping, because from what we've seen so far, it's tough. It's tough to be too optimistic. I'm confident in my team, but with 6 points, with the 6-point lead at the beginning of January, yeah, I mean it's still doable.
I mean, it is. I think,
but yeah, at least from my perspective, I was just hoping that we were gonna be on that ass a little bit more.
It is possible because they do play Manchester United, Brentford, and Sunderland, and those are all good teams that are playing fairly well. So it's possible for a draw. Maybe very unlikely, but maybe a loss against one of them. But I think a draw is very unlikely against those three teams.
Just for context, I mean, no, again, that's EFL. I was gonna say Chelsea is at your home in Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, we have 2 legs though, so that's for the EFL Cup. Which honestly, I don't even want to see them win that. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them win an FA Cup. I don't want to see them. Definitely don't want to see them in the Champions League, even though, again, they're first in the Champions League. If they win that, oh my God, man!
If they get a double,
if they get a double or a triple, I will.
If they get a trouble,
I might have to. I'll get on a rocket to Mars, man. Get me out of this planet.
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
have to deal with that. I mean, look, the law of averages say that Chelsea will beat them out of the one of these next 3 matches, or at least draw. So, let's just hope it's the one in the Premier League and not the one in the EFL.
I mean, don't get your hopes up. There's a lot of turmoil happening for the Blues right now. So, expectations should be managed appropriately. That's all I'm saying. Which I guess we can go and hop onto that, man.
What a game.
Since the last time we posted a video, a lot has happened. Honestly, I feel like I've aged terribly. Like, last Sunday, I had a gaffer. Last Sunday, the team looked good. Not good, but we were dealing with the December curse that everybody seems to call it. Chelsea drops points in December for whatever reason. And we had some drama happening, some comments. Enzo Maresca has gone from his demeanor had changed. He stopped wearing Chelsea clothes, which was kind of a warning sign right there. Honestly, he said it wasn't nothing, but he started wearing it started to make him look like a James Bond villain. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was wearing all black at certain points. He was looking crazy, man. He made that comment about not being supported for the last 48 hours or what have you. That was on Sunday. Today, this day, which is Sunday again, I don't have a coach. My team was in a predicament. There are there's a coach that's maybe on the way, maybe not. We had an interim coach. Like it's been tough, right? So I mean, I'll start with for example the Bournemouth match on what was that, Wednesday? Or
December
Tuesday?
30th.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, man. What a kind of a tough game to watch, honestly.
Exciting first half.
Exciting first half, but very disappointing. We saw a Palmer goal. It was a penalty from a foul that Esteval very intelligently kind of forced and insinuated on, because it wasn't originally a penalty. He really pushed for that VAR check, which was great, because after the VAR it was a clear foul. And then honestly, the second goal from Enzo Fernandez was beautiful. Top right corner, just curved right in all day. Beautiful goal. But man, to lose to 2 long throw set piece goals is just so disappointing, man. We really could have won that one. We really could have, but again, defensively, we are just struggling. The first one, we had, and I hate to say this, but because for set pieces is a little weird. Garnacho isn't a defender, obviously, but when it's a set piece, everybody has to defend, and everybody needs to know, mark a runner and track them, right? But and we've seen this before. Garnacho, the moment that the ball gets kicked out, loses a runner, and he's just free to head that in. Unbelievable, bad luck, whatever you want to say it. Obviously, all the other defenders should have tracked that ball a little bit better. But he had one guy he had to keep an eye out, and immediately lost track of him. Second goal, kind of a similar case. Trev kind of hits it with his head and skips it back into the far post, where there was just an attacker free to, I forget who it was exactly, but there was an attacker free to just kind of slam it right on in. So really disappointing game for me, obviously. That one was definitely a must win after the string of losses and draws we've had. But then right after that game, no press conference, no nothing from Maresca, and that was like the very first hint that something was awry, right? Willie Caballero did the press conference, said that Enzo came down with an illness, but what was really happening was apparently heavy discussions on the future of Enzo Maresca in the team. Cut to December 31st. There are all sorts of posts. Enzo Maresca wants out. Enzo Maresca sacked. And by the time I wake up on New Year's, which is supposed to be a good day, right? I was without a gaffer. I was without a manager. I was without Enzo Maresca, and man, it's been really disappointing, honestly. I really personally like Enzo Maresca. I think he's done an incredible job. I think anyone who doesn't think that, because and here's the thing that frustrates me now, because I feel like there's been an overwhelming positivity towards Enzo Maresca now that he's gone officially, right? But I remember just a few months ago, a lot of people were talking about Maresca out, and it's really interesting how quickly people's opinion can change. But I really think that with Maresca, I felt like even though he's had a bad string of games, I don't see anywhere in his tenure where you can say that he's failed, right? I feel like he has exceeded the expectations that he has set. I think that when he came on to manage Chelsea, that there was a lot of criticism because he didn't have a lot of experience, right? This is his first official job as a head coach in the Premier League, coming from the Championship and things like that. And that same season, we got the Conference League. We made it to fourth place from, I think before that was seventh, and I think it was like the first time in a few seasons that we've been able to qualify for the Champions League. And then I know it gets talked down on a lot, but the Club World Cup, winners of the world, right? Champions of the world for 4 years. We have that badge on our chest, however, whatever you want to call it, the Mickey Mouse trophy or whatever. But those are all things that he was able to, rally and tactically set up for success. And I kind of understand where he's coming from with a lot of his comments, where he didn't feel supported, because I really did believe that him with this team, with maybe 2 or 3 really good additions to the team, could have become a problem in Europe. So it's really disappointing, but we are where we are, right? We are where.
Yeah, and let me just add on before you start discussing the most recent games. No, like you said, no one could be disappointed with the job that Maresca has done, because whatever people want to say, myself included, about the Club World Cup, we all wanted to win it. We gave it our all. We had our starting lineup. Real Madrid were there. They were trying to win it. PSG, who you beat in the final and showed that in a one-off game or in a knockout competition, Maresca had the goods.
They destroyed everyone. They literally destroyed Bayern Munich, City, I believe, right? You guys played them.
No. I don't know if we played in the group stage, but we were eliminated by Al Hilal.
Yeah, right. Anyways, they were playing to win it. They were playing to win it. I mean, Luis Enrique punched João Pedro. I feel like we forget about that, but he assaulted a player on camera. Which, by the way, nothing happened. Nothing happened for him, which is crazy.
Nope.
But yeah, like I if I didn't care about something, I wouldn't go out of my way to knock the person.
Exactly.
So yeah, like Maresca has had nothing but success, in my opinion.
And even in this season, I mean, the fact that, like you said, with a couple more signings, with more time, the potential to make an impact in Europe was there. You guys destroyed Barcelona.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not the best team right now, but legacy-wise, I mean, damn, well, there's again, few better.
We're not talking... I know we say that they're not the best Barcelona ever. They are still one of the greatest teams in Europe, if not the world. They have Lamine Yamal. They have some of the best players.
And last year, they were imperious. Yeah.
Right. And so to say that this isn't the best, it's not nothing, right?
No, not at all.
And so, yeah, it's a little worrisome, obviously. My understanding from a lot of the stuff that I've been reading is that Maresca basically resigned. He wasn't really sacked. He basically went to the board and talked, basically discussing his new contract. And I have to imagine that personnel was discussed there, because for sure he probably was going to talk about getting better players. I really think that was one of the things hindering him, specifically with certain center backs. But yeah, he left a compensation package of $14 million on the table. He saw his situation as being so bad. I don't know about you guys. $14 million, a
Make me
lot
do a
would
lot
have
of
to happen.
things.
You're gonna
A
have to
lot would
fire
have
me.
to happen
You're gonna have
exactly
to
for me to
fire
drop
me.
$14 million. That's all I'm saying. So that just tells you, man, like it's a problem with this ownership. I really do feel like it's become clear. There's been a lot of comments about Chelsea, like what's Chelsea's identity? Why is it that Chelsea has spent $2 billion in the last X amount of years? They have, and it feels like they have no identity. I
Because
think that
they don't.
Chelsea,
Sorry.
no, Chelsea does have an identity. It's just not the one that people want.
Their identity is not having an identity.
No, their identity is selling players.
His team
Their
just started
identity
being good.
is making money. Clear Lake and the current ownership does not care, in my opinion, does not care about the success of Chelsea in the traditional sense. It really feels that way. What it does feel, right? This feels like Chelsea is basically Red Lobster. Let me explain. Chelsea is basically Chelsea is basically what's another one? Southwest Airlines, right? Where a private equity firm has purchased this company, iconic company, and is just basically liquidating. That's what it feels like right now. Chelsea has legacy. Chelsea has heritage. Chelsea has. Wait, doesn't?
Does, but it's all very recent, like myself. But
yeah, I was gonna say, where are you to judge? What are you talking about here?
No, but it's all very
unless
recent.
You're Man United, or unless you're Man United and Liverpool, I don't know who here can talk.
Not me.
I'm just saying.
There's
legacy
heritage and there's
is
legacy.
strong, but okay.
There's heritage and there's legacy for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Okay, in that case, you don't have heritage and you don't have legacy. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm not claiming to have legacy.
Okay. Anyways, regardless, Chelsea at a minimum is a big name.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Haterade today is strong.
Listen, I'm allowed to be mad at you.
We're gonna talk about what happened.
I'm allowed to be mad at you today.
But all I'm saying is that they're basically, what it feels like is that they're trying to make as much money from the transfer market. They don't care about anything. I mean, we don't have a front of shirt sponsor. Dog.
What do you mean? What did that say? Yamaha?
This is from the 2010s,
that's like
my guy.
So long ago.
We don't have a front of shirt sponsors. That is like at a minimum $50 million a year. At a minimum. Tell me you don't care about your company, of your team, when you're dropping the ball on at least that. They don't care.
They got all that oil money, man. They don't need that.
They don't have oil money. They're not they're a private equity firm. That's Julius over here. He's the oil money guy.
Yeah. They used
Which
to
honestly,
be Russian.
that's probably better because they actually
used to be Russian oligarchs.
Yeah,
so, but you know,
it's a different kind of money.
It's different nowadays. Too. I think you guys are back. I think Clear Lake is connected to Saudi oil as well.
At this point,
we're all connected to oil. Come on.
I'm probably connected.
He has a billionaire owner too. We all have billionaire owners.
Yeah, honestly. But all I'm saying is this: like, it's really nerve-wracking. It's really depressing to have an ownership that clearly doesn't care about the team in a traditional sense, that sees it as an opportunity to essentially liquidate and make as much money out of it as it can, turn it into a feeder team, turn it into what Brighton is for Chelsea right now. And, once you're done doing that, once the legacy is gone, once we're a mid-table team, sell the company.
Damn, bro.
And get the hell out. That's really what it feels like.
Sad.
Sincerely. I know. And they've made their money. Their transfer, I mean, I think they've had one of the best transfer seasons last summer. I think they made like $100 million on their transfers. They netted $100 million on their transfers. just by basically moving players around, buying really young, even if they don't do well, buying really young, holding them, training them, putting that Chelsea name on them, and then selling them for a profit. That's all they're doing. It's a player factory. That's what it's become. And that's where my sadness came from. Not necessarily from losing Enzo Maresca, which I really did rate and I really did like, and I really wanted to have him be our next Pep. Those big words, I know, but our next, Arteta. I was going to be careful here. Our next, where it's like a multi-season coach, whether he does good or bad, he's our gaffer, he's our guy, he
back.
is him. He is Chelsea, right?
And he's back to see out his project.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's good or bad, sporting directors are working with him. The owners back him and support him, and that's what I was really hoping for. And to see that to see him, what he's done, mean nothing for this organization was really really depressing. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. And I'm actually, I know Liam Rosenior. He looks to be the the new coach. I think he has I don't probably not too much, but I know he has
the new yes man.
An interview. He has an unofficial interview on Monday.
He's already hired.
Well, it's not technically, not yet.
For a
not
different
yet.
team.
Right. That's which is a whole other thing. The way that
he can't say
Clear
no.
Lake is using Strasbourg is kind of horrific, but whatever. Which is funny because the president of Strasbourg was like really upset about him taking Liam. He threatened to quit, which is interesting. But I feel like there's a lot of hate out there for him. They're calling him a PE coach because of a locker room discussion that made him sound kind of nerdy or whatever. Kind of what they do to Arteta when he's like has like a light bulb in his hand talking to his team. I whatever happens, I'm going to support him. I gotta support the team. I definitely don't support this ownership. I don't know what's going on. This honestly, and Julius, I need you for this one. This might be the worst Big Six Premier League ownership since the Glasners in me. And I'm not including the Wolves in that one because I know that they're probably the worst ownership.
Glasners. Yeah, they at least
I'm not saying that
money.
These guys are worse than the Glasners.
No, I got you.
Glasners.
The fact that just after Abramovich left, who was the Russian oligarch that backed you guys for like 10, 15 years. You guys had Pochettino. No, you had Graham Potter, you had Pochettino, and then Maresca was supposed to be the guy. And we already discussed some of his accolades at this point. I mean, the reality is, what were they expecting of him? Yes, he had a couple of subpar results, but I mean, it wasn't even catastrophic. It wasn't loss after loss. Let me look at your schedule. There were some losses in there, but there were some draws. You guys are still alive in the Champions League. Like we said, you've had some big wins. You're not backing him in the transfer window because you're only getting him project players that he's probably not going to have in 6 to 12 months anyway.
Yeah, selling Madueke and then replacing it with Gittins and Garnachos is not backing a manager.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And not that Madueke was lighting it up for Chelsea, but he's doing a fine job at Arsenal. Exactly.
Best. Yeah, spent more money.
It's not improving the squad.
No, at all.
So you can't be asking
by the
for
way,
better results.
I'm probably one of the few non-Garnacho haters out there. I actually think that he has a lot of promise,
he's been all right for you guys.
He's been well. Hold on, he's been good. He has had moments, but to spend money on winger after winger after winger and not backing your gaffer when he publicly says he needs a center back, tells you a lot. Tells you that there's no credit in the bank. Tells you that he doesn't support the gaffer. It's really embarrassing, honestly. It really
Which, if
really
anything, he should have earned some credit in the bank based off of the trophies that you guys won last year and over the summer.
Yeah.
And having you guys in a title race like 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, we were second place not even that long ago.
You fell off slightly, but you're still in the top 4, top 5 race.
Exactly.
You're in
Which we
Champions
still
League
are,
places.
by the way. Let's not talk like the season's over yet. We can
No,
talk
not
about that
at
a little
all.
bit later. But it is impressive how none of that means anything to them because their eyes are not set on that. They don't care about that at all. And I think specifically, his name is Igbali. I think is the main guy because I think him and Todd Bowley have differing opinions.
They had like a falling out.
Yeah, they're having a falling out, and I think Todd Bowley does care about the team succeeding a lot more than like Clear Lake Capital side does, which is probably why when I think Roman probably thought that Todd Bowley was going to have much more say in this, and that's probably where maybe he chose that consortium to set up to, because I know at the beginning he was trying to be sporting director and he was just throwing money. He was throwing money at whomever, almost the exact opposite of what they're doing now.
He was
right?
playing
Which
like
is maybe
Ultimate Team.
He was playing Ultimate Team with peak players and people that weren't really going to jive together. And I think that now they're doing kind of the exact opposite. So maybe it's an overreaction to what happened with the first 2 billion. Maybe now they're trying to make back to those 2 billion. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we're over exaggerating. Maybe we're just the fan base is emotional, which makes sense. They're gonna have a what is it called, a rally on the 17th, objecting to this. I think they're trying to convince people to not show up to the games and make it a fully empty stadium, and which I support. Hopefully they listen, and there's a world where Blue Co makes a lot of money and the fans are happy. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be one or the other.
They're not mutually
Man
exclusive.
City being the exact model that they should be aiming for, where it's all accolades, and you guys are, I think, the second or third highest grossing team in the world. I think you guys are behind Man United and Real Madrid.
Fourth, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what they should be shooting for, man. But it is what it is. I'm excited,
Shoot,
but
we
I'm
got
nervous, but I'm
penalties.
sad.
We ain't got no money.
Yo, you guys are gonna, honestly, I really think that I think that even if you guys don't win, if you guys just make it to Champions League football, I think that you guys are probably gonna get backed by your ownership and are probably gonna, I think next season could be really dangerous for you guys.
They'll throw out some more money.
I think so. Yeah. Why not?
I mean, from what I can understand, we did have we violated a few things in the past year, and so we got some.
So literally all of us, we're all being investigated by the FA.
I'm 115, he's 74.
Yeah,
Join the club.
Yeah, welcome, bro. I don't even know what that means. I don't know how we get in trouble. Like, I don't know what ends up happening, honestly, because they said like a month ago that the verdict was supposed to come in for Chelsea. Nothing happened, so who knows?
I've been waiting 3 years, my friends. Guys, listen, just keep winning and hopefully, fuck it. Either maybe we'll have a Super League or the charges will be dismissed. I'm acting like oil baron now.
We're owned by like an American and a Egyptian billionaire or something. So
perfect combination.
Maybe honestly, once they see us winning, like you said, they start throwing money at
throwing a few more bucks, man.
We just signed a guy for like 10 million. Look at that, big bucks.
That.
Yeah.
Some wonder kid. It's 19, so I don't even know.
Bro,
if he's a
I literally saw.
Anymore.
By the way, I literally just
has one.
I saw Chelsea be linked. No, I saw Chelsea be linked to 2 new 18-year-olds, and I was like, guys, please stop. No more 18-year-olds. This isn't a daycare center, bro. Please.
Straight out of Taiwan and Uzbekistan.
I know.
Nah,
I think this one of them is. I know one of them is Greek. I don't know where the other one's from, but it was just like, oh brother.
I saw somebody in their driveway doing about 100 kick-ups. It was like, that kid could be something.
Sign him. 6-year contract.
So
yeah, but hey, talking a little more on Chelsea and Man City.
What a game
today, huh? What a
game.
I think I can safely say that none of us expected that outcome.
Hell no.
I certainly did not. I'll tell you that. I mean, we had literally Fofana missing. He came up with a fever literally hours before the game.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, we had Cucurella out for a hamstring issue. Caicedo is out for too many yellow cards.
Yeah.
We have one more person missing. Forget who. Oh, who else?
Why wasn't Robert Sanchez there?
Oh, Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez has a small hamstring issue. So yeah, thank you. Sanchez out of goal. Jorgensen, who's been questionable this season, literally punched Fofana in the head and gave him a concussion during one of the early games.
Why couldn't he do that again today?
So,
Yeah.
but
You
I
guys
mean, Julius,
had-
what do you think? What did you think about that game?
Achampong at right back and Gusto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Bad.
exactly. Flipping him.
Yep. Which is exactly what we did during Bournemouth, and I don't know why we started off that way. Anyways, Julius, the floor.
Guys.
Yeah,
It's been a
you know what?
frustrating 2026 so far. Go ahead.
No,
I
I
was
want
just
to
gonna ask.
know. Oh.
I'm like, the
James,
last
go
two
ahead.
games have been draws,
Yeah.
which is surprising because the games before that, Turkey, Foden, and Holland were out there like they were playing pickup on the street.
Honestly. And, it's similar situations to what we experienced. I'll back up before we talk about Chelsea. When it comes to the game against Sunderland, we discussed it in, what was it, like 2-3 weeks ago now? I don't know. There's been so many games over the last.
Yeah. By the
like,
way, one
holiday
of the most
season.
boring days of football ever. Every single person drew.
Exactly.
I think only 2 goals total for every
Exactly.
single team.
It was the same issues where it was a super defensive unit. I remember talking about their goalkeeper then, Royce or Rose, something like that. I don't know. Just keeping us out of the net. And in the very beginning of that game, Bernardo puts it in the back of the net. It gets called up for offside. And then after that, it's just a defensive showpiece. So, we didn't have really anybody missing from what I remember. Let me look at the lineup. But I think the majority of we had Savinho playing. I've talked ad nauseum about Savinho. I'm over him. Please bring me Semenyo already. Please just sign him. I'm glad that Doku's back, but we just need that depth. But it was just a very frustrating game where, despite that one chance, there really wasn't a whole lot left in it. And it was just defensive showpiece where we just weren't, neither team was able to break the deadlock. At the very least, the only positive I could see was the fact that we kept a clean sheet and Rodri came back. He came on at the 46th minute because Nico Gonzalez had gotten a knock, which, not the circumstance that we want our Ballon d'Or winner to come on, but the fact that his replacement gets injured and he's able to finally take over for a full half of the game without getting injured. Only positive I could take. Now, when it came to this Chelsea game, brother. Like, for all the reasons that you just said, this should have been a cakewalk. It should have been. And realistically, the chances showed that, at least for the first half, it kind of was, except for the fact that we couldn't put it in the back of the effing net. Because after that Esteval chance, which was, as the commentator said, the best chance of the game, I have it written down. Foden,
the first half,
yeah,
at
that
least.
shit, that went right over the.
No,
for Esteval. Esteval got blocked.
Yeah, Esteval was straight at the keeper.
Okay,
Was that in the second half?
First half.
Okay,
He was
then there must have been
subbed
two.
in the second half.
Okay, well, there was somebody who had a chance right in front of the net, and it
You're talking about
soared
Pedro
over.
Neto and
I was like, how'd that not
and
go
I
in?
almost cried when I was. I'm glad I wear my eyeliner, my mascara, like I said, because I almost cried.
Listen, after that Esteval chance in like the 18th minute, Foden goes wide, 21st minute. After that, Holland gets a great chance off of a corner, heads it wide. After that, like literally a minute later, Holland gets a second chance that comes off comes off one of the posts. And then finally, Reinders scores. It was a good goal. I think we've talked about it plenty of times where, there was over reliance on Holland and finally other people are scoring,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful for that. That is nice.
I think that
but
pass was directed at Foden and it was blocked. And then Reinders ended up getting possession and then finishing it off.
I think you're right. I think
Yep.
somebody, one of your defenders, not blocked it, but like he put Foden
Interfered
off
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut him off. Yeah.
And then it just ran into the path of Reinders, who netted it, which I'm very grateful for. Again, I'm glad to see that he is finding his place finally, and we're seeing some of that form that he had in AC Milan. But beyond that point, the second half just wasn't good enough. We were holding on. We weren't creating a whole lot of chances, and we've last season this was the recipe where we would score early, but we wouldn't score enough. There would be a lapse in concentration, and literally in this game, like in the dying minutes, like what was it, the 84th, 85th minute? When did you guys score, Mateo?
The score was the 90th minute.
Yeah,
Worse.
it was towards it was basically
in the
extra time,
fourth. It was
90
the
plus
94th minute.
Brother, there was 6 minutes of added time. You guys couldn't
And
think
it
about
was
your hot girlfriend still 2 minutes after?
It was a close one too. Let me tell you,
It was.
Yeah, it was deflected twice.
It's close.
We were talking about Donnarumma
Honestly,
before.
Donnarumma was a
Brother.
great shot stopper, but he should have
No!
he should have gotten control of that ball. He's a great shot stopper, but he's not good at following up on those rebounds.
I counted it.
I think it was 3 times, right?
It was 3 effing times. He
Yeah.
stopped. First off, I
main
think
one.
it was a missed kick from Fernandez for the first one. He stopped it. He's on the ground. Fernandez hits it again.
Yep.
Stops it and pushes it right into his
Right
path.
back to him.
So
Yeah.
he goes just, and it goes into the net. Listen, I'm not going to walk back the fact that I think Donnarumma has been a fantastic signing.
Yeah.
For sure.
But PSG, maybe I get it a little bit.
No way. No way.
No.
No way.
The main issue with him at PSG, Chevalier, yeah. No. Possibly. But the reality is that you cannot fuck up the save, edit it out, I don't give a shit. You can't fuck up the save twice and then miss it the third time too, and throwing away the 3 points when, as we were saying, brother, what was working for us just in December was that we were on Arsenal's ass like white on rice. You have to sustain the pressure. And the fact that we've had 2 draws in a row,
Drop 4 points, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a mentality. It's a lack of mentality. Now I will give some almost a pass, not a pass, but I'll understand the fact that a lot of the players that we have right now are not the same ones who have won the league multiple times, who have won the treble, who have won the Champions League. We have a lot of new players in that dressing room. And I'm grateful for the situation that we're in, but y'all need to wake the fuck up, because this is not how you win a title. You need to wake up. Yeah.
Wake
Yeah.
up.
You need to wake up, because this is not how you win the title. Especially, yes, Arsenal are error prone, but you can't depend on that. You can't just expect that. You can hope that they're going to drop points, but you can't anticipate that they are going to, and that'll be your saving grace in winning this title. So, and not just that, the fact that we lost Vardiol and we had to bring on Kusanov, and Ruben Diaz got subbed out, and I think he has a knock as well. I have the injuries in front of me. I was not worried about this in December. But January 4th, we're in the middle of an injury crisis. Where the hell did that come from? So now, I'm grateful that, we're heavily linked to Semenyo. It looks like we've all but signed him. Now I think we have to go into the market and get a center back, because a center back pairing of God knows who. Kusanov and Nathan Ake, who we're looking to sell. Who else do we have on our bench? I don't see anybody. John Stones is out for a couple days, supposedly, but he's always out for a couple days. And then Vardio and Diaz are gone. Are we going to try to put Rodri in center back?
Why not?
Fuck no!
Second Ballon d'Or as a center back.
No! You're going to have to edit heavily. Thank God for Riverview.
No,
but
we can cuss on. You can cuss on YouTube.
It's okay. I don't care.
I'm gonna keep it all.
I choose not for kids every time.
Ain't no kids listen to this. But the reality is we're in need of a center back now.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Everybody
Welcome to
wants.
The club.
Yeah, I was gonna say everybody wants Gahey.
You can buy what's his name that Mateo hates.
Yeah. Hey, Tosin's really good on a good day.
Tosin?
You want Tosin? He's good. He's experienced. He has Premier League experience.
You guys could go for
half
Pau
off.
Torres.
Half off for you. Half off.
He's injured, isn't he? You're playing Lindelof ahead of him. The guy that got kicked out of Man United.
He's got a calf injury, and he might be going to Barcelona.
I'm good.
Barcelona wants him, so I don't know what money
Barcelona
they're going to give.
wants everybody.
They got no money to give us, so.
But actually, speaking of Barcelona, if we don't go for Gahey, I mean, Koundé would be nice, but probably extremely expensive, and they probably don't want to sell them. But yeah, I wasn't anticipating this, but now we need a center back as well. So it's been. After such a triumphant December where we looked like we were getting back to our ways, we were building momentum, we were winning convincingly, and even when we weren't winning convincingly, the last-minute winners and the sustained run of form is how you win titles. That's how we've won titles in the past.
Consistency.
But 2 draws in a row to start off January, it's looking a little booky. It's looking a little booky. It's consistent. But not in the way I like.
In a good way, yeah.
Yeah, not in the way I like. And that's all I got to say about City. Because we need to see some movement in the transfer window.
Yep.
Or
Agreed.
Our defense is going to be as leaky as it ever was.
Agreed. Hey, mad props to Callum McFarlane.
Yeah, hey.
Didn't know his name, but mad props to him, right?
Another guy you got from City.
Brother. Oh, really? I literally know nothing. I literally know nothing about him, but I watched him during the press conference, and I already love him. He seems great.
Is he?
Honestly,
He's funny?
Not funny, but he seems so humble and so nice. But like, U21 coach started, I think, in September. His badge doesn't even let him into the main training area as of like last week. He had to be rebadged. That's how quickly he went from the U21 coach, who's doing pretty well, by the way. I saw they're third in that league.
Maybe firing Maresca wasn't so bad.
Well, I actually want to talk about that a little bit. Okay. We're going to get to that. But honestly,
54 minutes.
Props to, we can cut a bunch of time off. Props to the team, man. Honestly, props to Audrey Santos. Came on, made a big difference. Liam Delap, probably the best that he's looked since we got, honestly, I don't know, since we've started, like, he did. Yeah, I saw that part. He's a bully, and somebody needs to really rein him in, because he's kind of an idiot, but looked really good. Actually made a difference. His hold up play was great. He had a couple of opportunities that he didn't make happen, but looking like a proper striker. We unfortunately, I think he said it during the press conference. The original setup of the 4-2-1-3 or whatever that we normally do, forced us to pin back. We ended up being basically like the whole first half was just us parking the bus. We had everybody defending. Everybody was in the box. It was absolutely not working out. And then in the second half, he actually changed the formation to a a 3-4-2-1. And apparently that made a big difference. It moved a lot more pressure to the midfield. It provided more like a more concentrated midfield, and then obviously you had more opportunities to kind of like pass the ball forwards and then push past your guys' midfield and past the defenses, and it looked a lot better. So kudos on him for those tactical changes and those tactical tweaks, because that second half was shocking. And I just want to say a couple of stats here. On the first half, the XG for Chelsea was 0.19. We had 32% possession, and we had one total shot, and that was the shot by Esteval. On the second half, we had 54% possession. Man City had 0.29 XG. Chelsea had 1.66 XG.
Mm-hmm.
Had more total shots and more shots on target off of his tactical decisions. So super huge props to him. I'm sure this is gonna make him very, very successful in the future. I think that he got asked if he was gonna take the Strasbourg job, and he was literally like, "This is the first I've ever." No, he was literally like, They're like, how are the talks going with the rumors that you're gonna be taking over the Strasbourg job? And he's like, "This is the first time I'm hearing of this."
I have to learn French immediately.
Yeah, exactly. So huge props to him. But I wanted to talk before we end. I think we're running out of time here. But what do you think Liam Rosenior is gonna be for Chelsea? Do you think it's going to ultimately be a good thing? Do you think it's going to be a bad thing? Here's a couple of the things that I know from just looking through some of the Strasbourg's older games. He sets up. He's a very much a 3 in the back system. Very much like Ruber Amorim, which makes me very, very nervous.
Yeah, that's not great.
But that being said, another very famous Chelsea coach that played up 4 in the back was Thomas Tuchel.
And Conte.
And Conte, yeah. And I think that maybe a slight change of setup might benefit a few players in particular. I think for a striker, I think like a 3-4-2-1 setup can be really useful for them. I think for somebody like Garnacho, which came from that exact same system, I think that I don't see him as like one of the second forwards, like one of the 2-2s or one of the 2-10s technically. I think him as like a wing back could actually be a better position for him.
Does he have the defensive nous to do that?
No, but I think he has the workload for it.
Yeah,
and I think him and Neto are very similar. No, exactly. So I think if you could train him up to do that, you could maybe get that going, and then that would help Cucurella, because Cucurella is probably going to be in that position. I think that'll remove some of that workload off of him. They can alternate. But like overall, what do you think about this new coach situation? Do you think it's going to be more drama in 18 months? Do you think that he's going to be this yes man that everybody thinks he's going to be? Do you think it might ultimately be more successful? Because obviously we have the talent, like we showed it today, right? Do you think that, with the players that we have and somebody with good people skills, do you think that that's going to get us, one of the trophies this season or some sort of success this season? Or do you think this season's over for Chelsea?
You want to go first, James?
You go first, man. I got it.
I mean, I think there's no way that he can survive in this job without being a yes man. The reality is that he's coming from Strasbourg.
But here's the problem with that. He got fired from Hull because he wasn't a yes man.
Well, then his time is very limited, because if we have seen anything from this job, again, Graham Potter had no balls and got kicked out. He wasn't delivering any results. It wasn't working out. Pochettino was starting to turn it around, but they deemed that it wasn't good enough. Maresca did do good enough, but he pushed too much in the media and asking for transfers, and he didn't just say thank you for this project player again. Go ahead.
Do you think, because I was thinking, was part of the reason why Maresca got sacked because he wasn't a yes man and they got tired of it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So then, because
this guy has to be.
This guy, like like Julius said, his time is limited depending on how well they do, because it seems to me he's not a yes man, obviously, because he got fired for it already. So he doesn't have a whole lot of time to prove that he can do this. It feels like.
Yeah. Unless he could pull off a miracle in like the Champions League, you guys aren't going to win the league. Let's be honest.
No.
Maybe none of us are going to win the league. I don't know, because Arsenal are looking very imperious. But the reality is that I think they're not gonna back him out of. If they back him, that is such a slap in the face to Maresca. If they bring in the same players in the same positions that Maresca was asking for this January or even in the summer coming up, that's such a slap in the face to Maresca, who has done so much for them. But I think he's gonna have to deal with the squad he has and whatever project players that they bring in. I think the best he can possibly hope for is just keeping top 4. Qualify the Champions League. If you can make a deep run in one of the cups or even the Champions League, great. But I don't think they can ask for anything more than that, realistically. Not with half a season left to go and probably no money or new players in this January transfer window. He has to be a yes man, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Speaking
Sad
of
to say,
January
man.
transfer window, sorry, I just seen this 2 hours ago, so I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. But Real Madrid has received an offer worth a record-shattering 150 million from Chelsea for Vinicius Jr. Mateo, how do you feel about that? It's 125 million guaranteed, plus 25 millions in bonuses.
We were talking about that, and it makes me sick to my fucking stomach.
What do you mean? How could you be sick?
Sick to my fucking stomach. Because here's the thing. How are you spending that much money on a winger when we need center backs? We need defenders. We probably also need a goalie. Not saying Sanchez isn't doing a good job, but I think Jorgensen's going to want to be sold. So we're probably going to... Actually, no, we have Mike Penders from Strasbourg that's coming next summer. So actually, I think we're good there. But we need other positions filled.
You guys are trying to get Omar Soleil from... I don't know where, Syria somewhere.
Udinese.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Udinese.
What's his age?
Yes.
16, 14? Can we see his quinceañera? Look, if I guess I'm not going to be that upset.
He's legal.
Whoa!
What?
Wonderful. What is his position? I actually don't know. I haven't been following.
He is a center back.
Hey!
Center back.
Hey!
From Serie A. They like center backs over there.
Right.
They
Is
make some good
for
ones.
January? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah.
You guys, you're in a contest with Tottenham and Crystal Palace.
Wow.
You look the most likely. Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know if they're willing to spend some money.
Okay. Damn, Liam Rosenior might have made a real good move there then.
And I had sent you an article. I think what a lot of people are suspecting as well, since it's almost a guarantee that he's going to be your next manager, they're expecting that there's a lot of talent in Strasbourg itself, who, of course, are linked to Chelsea.
Yeah, for summer. Yeah.
That quite a few of his players might be coming with him.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll get,
like I said, maybe this 3 in the back system will end up working out. I mean, it didn't work out for Amorim, and tactically they're very similar, but maybe.
But Amorim is still employed. You got to remember that.
Actually, I saw Fabrizio Romano just dropped that there's some tension there. I think he might get. He made
a comment. Yeah.
Yeah. I think which is funny because some of the last podcasts I'd asked who's the first coach to get sacked. Never did I think it would be Maresca. But technically, he wasn't sacked. He resigned. He would have gotten a fat payout if he got sacked. So he resigned. Potato, tomato.
But do you think? Okay, so to James's point, do you think Vinicius would be? How do you feel about you said absolutely
I'm a little
not,
scared because from my understanding, even though Vinicius is very talented, he can bring a certain toxicity that I think we were trying. One of the things that I think it really feels like we have some camaraderie in the locker room right now, minus a couple of players that are in the bum squad, which is horrible. And hopefully, they get brought in and then trained up and then sold. I think Raheem Sterling, I don't know what happened there. I don't know why
think he's
that
pushing to go to
happened
Fulham. West Ham inquired, and
for
he
Raheem.
rejected it. Yeah, he
Yeah,
rejected
yeah.
it outright. He wants
He's
to go to Fulham.
happy. He's happy just getting paid $300,000 a year. Or
I
sorry,
would be
a week.
a week.
He gets paid more. I think he was getting paid more than Maresca to do nothing, which is wild. Yeah, so that's wild. But yeah, no, look, maybe that's a good thing. We definitely need an attack. We need teeth. We need an attacker, a good winger on the left, right? But if that's at the cost of a proper locker room, a team environment where everybody's gonna be selfless, then I think that's gonna end up being more harm than good.
Especially coming into a Chelsea where the last coach that had any cojones got fired, and now you're coming in with a brand new coach, and he tells you, no, you have to track back. Do you think Vinicius is going to listen when he's not listening to a Liverpool and Real Madrid legend, Xabi Alonso?
Nobody can rein that man in.
No, the ego is crazy.
Yeah, he thinks he's better than he is. No offense to him.
Which is great.
Facts.
I've seen
I think
him be
give him
devastating.
to Tottenham. Give him to Tottenham.
Oh Lord.
He'll run the club there.
Yeah,
Exactly. And that actually might be a better fit. You actually might. I mean, they have if we're struggling on the left wing, they're struggling everywhere. Everywhere, man. But oh well.
All right.
Yeah.
That has been another episode of the Tap In Podcast. Let us know how you feel about this new setup we have here, if you haven't noticed already. And we will see y'all next week. Peace out.
Well.